I can't say that this is safe.
You got a damn superpower at the moment, man. You're invisible. Everybody think you dead and gone. This bitch told me she done. Now she got my work.
You killed your own friend, Breeze. For some territory? To get ahead in the game?
Breeze was a bad dude. He was gonna get us all killed.
I ain't never been more fucking alive.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be talking about Unique's master plan, what his next move could be, and the psychology that could make him transition into having a completely different identity. An identity that I believe had a major influence on everybody around him, like Ghost. Obviously, I feel like Unique is going to be completely different eventually. And obviously, based on what we saw from the Season 5 set photos, he does bounce back. But how exactly does he do it? That's what I will be exploring in this particular video right here. How exactly does Unique bounce back? You know, something that a lot of people have forgotten about was that post that the showrunner made last year that showed an airplane arriving with a tech Breeze on it. Basically telling us that a character that we've been anticipating to see has arrived. And this was right around the same time that they filmed the episode where Unique comes back and they reveal that he's still alive. And now here we are in Season 4 and all of the characteristics are showing themselves. He's a completely different person now. He's obviously more violent and he's more dangerous. You know, as much as some people may want to compare Breeze and Ghost to each other, and to Tommy and to Kanan, I honestly believe that at his core, Breeze was a completely different person, based on some traumatic experience that he went through. You have to keep in mind that Unique, he took a lot of blows to the head. People who take a lot of head injuries, concussions, they suffer to function properly. Their brains do not function how they're supposed to be functioning. One good example would be football players. Some football players, they have a lot of violent incidents, mostly the ones who take a lot of head injuries on the field. One perfect example would be Aaron Hernandez. They basically looked into his brain right after he passed and they discovered that he had a lot of head trauma. People who were on his team said that he took a lot of blows to his head when he was on the field. But my point is, people who go through these type of injuries, concussions, blows to their head, they do not function properly. They have a hard time recalling their emotional memory. They see people differently. It's basically like a monster lives in their head, basically. I said this last year. Unique is most likely going to end up being Breeze, just based on the fact that he's not going to be the same exact person from all of those blows that he took to his head. There's obviously some type of significant brain damage that he has based on the way that the doctor was speaking about him.
You may be keeping him secure, but I can't say that this is safe.
He just isn't the same person. Remember what Ghost said about Breeze.
Breeze was a bad dude. He was gonna get us all killed.
Based on what Ghost said, he was a very bad guy. He was a bad dude. And Unique, based on his actions, he's starting to fit that description even more now. Now, at the same time, let's also listen to what Kanan had to say about Breeze.
Breeze didn't have time to get scared.
He didn't have any time to get scared. That doesn't just sound like anybody. That sounds like someone who has been through something traumatic and they absolutely do not care at all. that pretty much sounds like Unique. Remember, Kanan always talked about Breeze to Ghost. Breeze was someone who meant a lot to Kanan, and he never forgot about him.
Why wouldn't you want to take out the boss? It's the same shit you did to Breeze.
At this point, Kanan is not just going to surround himself with just anybody. He already made that mistake last season. And if we know anything about Kanan based on what he said back in season 1, he already admires Unique. He has a lot of respect for Unique already. Now, as far as what exactly Unique is going to do next, I believe that he will continue to keep himself at a distance, watching everybody just like Tyler advised them to.
You got a damn superpower at the moment, man. You're invisible. Everybody think you dead and gone.
So that he can be a couple steps ahead of everybody. And if he truly wants to bounce back and level up, he's going to have to recruit some good business partners in Southside. People who know how to make money. If he does get rid of these people, he's obviously going to need some new people to do business with eventually. Being the person he is, he's going to find out what Kanan has been up to on the block that he's running at the moment. And that's basically what attracts him to this particular block, where he has that encounter with Crystal. I honestly think that they will eventually find some common ground together because they can both benefit from working with each other at the moment. Kanan needs help fixing his issue with snaps and pops, while Unique needs help getting back up on his feet. And that's what I believe their bond will really be about, helping each other out. When Raquel realizes that Kanan is fixing his situation, his issues with snaps and pops, that's when I believe she will most likely start to have her suspicions and figure out that someone else out there could be helping out Kanan, someone who knows Southside better than her. If Unique truly wants to bounce back with Kanan, he also needs a strong team. I don't think he's going to necessarily be too impressed with the people who are working for Kanan at the moment. And the last thing that he would want is any loose ends. He's definitely going to help Kanan recruit some new people if he does choose to work with him, in my opinion. One very important thing they highlighted in episode 2 was the similarities between Jukebox and Unique and their soldier type of approach. I believe much like he's going to take a liking to Kanan, he's also most likely going to take a liking to Jukebox and probably put her up to take care of problems that he might feel Kanan won't be able to deal with on his own. And if we're talking loose ends, the last thing Unique would want around him is a potential snitch. And word on the streets right now is that Famous is a snitch. So depending on how he feels about Famous when he sees him around the Kanan again, things might not end up looking too good for Famous. And he might end up putting Jukebox up to do something about him if he doesn't trust him. Ronnie didn't like Famous either. So they could have been also foreshadowing through that scene that Unique was also not going to like Famous as well. Something that might also make Jukebox want to work with Unique even more is the potential death of Marvin. We know that Stefano has been putting him up to take on a lot of people, and it's possible that someone seeks revenge on him and his family, which could explain why he's sending a gun to Jukebox to defend herself in case anybody comes for them. And when someone does end up coming for Marvin, I can also see this being something that pushes her even more to want to work with Kanan and Unique and basically seek help from them. The way that she seeks revenge for her father's death could help prove to Unique that she is a soldier that he can use in the future. Think about it. Now, if Unique doesn't change his mind about Raquel, I don't think things are going to be looking too good for her, especially now that Unique got rid of her attorney who was helping her out with all of her problems. One interesting thing I picked up on the season is that the name Unique is barely being used when it comes to his character, whenever his character is shown. And I want to go back to the scene between Unique and Stefano. Pay very close attention to what is said here.
You got the fucking best ones, Unique. Fat king of pop. Hey, well, hey, yo, what do you say? You got a good nickname for me?
This nigga want me to be his fucking daddy and give him a name?
Why is it that of all characters in Raising Kanan, the only character that just happens to have a nickname happens to be unique? Think about it. I feel like that right there is a major clue, a major foreshadowing to his character, showing us that he's gonna come up with a different name to not be so recognized in the streets. Why did they put that in there in the first place? Think about it. Why is he the only character with a nickname? Unique is not his real name. Yeah, he's the only character in the show with a different name. Literally, everybody else basically uses their own name, but he's the one with a nickname. Think about it. I don't see some random character coming in, stepping in, and having the same exact vibe that Unique has. Also having a nickname, I just don't see it playing out like that. There is definitely more to Unique's character, and based on some season 5 photos that I saw earlier this year, he does survive the season. He makes it out of the season alive, and it looks like he has his power back basically. He has people working for him, and we know that Raquel, she wants more power in Southside. This is what she's telling Stefano, and I believe that this is where both her and Unique are going to crash. Basically, there's going to be a lot of tension there. And the only way that I believe that they can find some type of common ground together will be if Raquel manages to find a way to squeeze him into her agenda with Stefano and taking Kwan completely out of the picture, because based on what Stefano said, in order for her to actually pull that off, she's going to need some help. And if Unique is smart enough, he will use this as an opportunity to plant his foot back in the game. And depending on how he feels about Raquel in the moment, he could either be using her to work with her or use her to throw her under the bus eventually, because I just don't see him reverting back to being on the same exact terms with her like he used to be. Based on the fact that Joey Badass said that the Unique that we knew is now gone, he might never trust her again like that. Remember, there's always a plot twist in Power, and I believe that he's going to want to do her the same way that she did him, by potentially setting her up to go to prison to completely take the position that she's setting herself up for at the moment. This is the only way that I can see this season truly having a shocking ending, and prison is somewhere we haven't actually seen Raquel in yet. I feel like in season 5, based on the set photos where we see Unique looking like he's back in that same exact position that he was in when he had that power in Southside Jamaica, Queens, I believe that in season 5, we could actually see Raquel try to get back what Unique took from her. Which could go either way, because if you know the story well, you know that in real life, Unique, aka Supreme, allegedly had something to do with the death of 50 Cent's mother, which is what he explores in his biopic, Get Rich or Die Trying. However, things could end up being more twisted in the series, since it only takes some inspiration from 50 Cent's story. So things could definitely be more twisted in the big finale of the series, where Cal could figure out a way to get away from Unique in multiple ways, in my opinion. That doesn't involve her getting killed, and I do believe that season 5 of Raising Kanan could actually be the last season, as they are working on Power Origins already. We could still see a lot of the same characters from Raising Kanan make a transition to Power Origins, which is why I believe that the character of Unique will have a major influence on Kanan's character development in season 4 and season 5 of Raising Kanan. We know how much the older Kanan loved the Breeze. He never stopped talking about him whenever he was around with Ghost or Tariq. Think about it. The apocalypse is coming. He's in your street. He's in your kitchen. He's in your bedroom. He's watching you at night. He's scaring your girl. Bro, who else would do this? Who else would be doing this shit? This is clearly Breeze right here. Now, if you're unique and you're smart enough, you would want to avoid making the same mistakes that you made back then, and that obviously comes with recruiting better and stronger soldiers that you can trust in the drug game, which is why I believe we're not too far from being introduced to a younger Tommy and Ghost. I feel like we've low-key already been introduced to a younger Tommy just based on what Ghost told Uncle Gabe. Remember what Ghost told Uncle Gabe?
I went to live with Tommy. Remember him, Uncle Gabe? Only white boy in the neighborhood, Tommy. Only white boy in the neighborhood, Tommy.
Tommy was the only white kid in the neighborhood, and in that same episode, we also saw an Easter egg of Tommy on the walls. So I do believe we're not too far from actually meeting them very soon. Tommy and Ghost, remember, they always talked about Breeze.
From working the corner for Breeze and Kanan, it brought us here.
And one thing about them is that they were always loyal to whoever they were working with. And I feel like loyalty is going to be the top thing that Unique is obviously going to be looking for the most down the line. Think about it. Remember, Ghost didn't just learn the game from anybody. He learned the game from some of the most dangerous people in Southside Jamaica, Queens. And much like we're seeing Unique watching people from a distance, we shouldn't doubt that Ghost hasn't been doing the same exact thing with Tariq this entire time. Which is exactly what I'll be diving deeper into in my next theory, where I will be revealing a new major clue about Ghost that nobody has highlighted yet. Stay tuned.